Hi folks, I'm Rob.
And I'm Nathan, and welcome to Two Guys in a Ride.
Today, we are with our friends at Luther Mankato Honda, and we're going to take a look at this 2019 Honda Passport. This is the Elite trim, and it has all-wheel drive.
All right, let's take a look at the safety systems that are on this vehicle. And talking about those safety systems, I'd like to show you where they are and how you can change them if there are any changes to be made. So basically, where do you find those safety systems to turn them on or off or change anything about them? So let's take a look. Here, this has the full Honda Sensing Safety Suite. And we start with Collision Mitigation Braking System, and that's the one I showed you earlier. So if you push and hold here, that turns it off, and you push and hold it again, and it comes on. Right below that button is your road departure mitigation button. And if you turn that on, it turns it on. If you press it again, it turns it off. Okay? Then, if you come over here to the steering wheel, another part of the safety system is the lane keep assist. So if I push here, you can see up on the dashboard that lane keeping assist, LKAS, is already on. I can turn the lane diagram on, so it helps to flash. If you go over to the left, it'll flash the left line. If you go over to the right, it'll flash the right line, and does its best job to keep you right in the middle of the lane. If I hit this main button right here, that will take the adaptive cruise control and the lane keeping assist off. And one simple push of that main button again brings them on. Okay? Now, the adaptive cruise control is set right over here. And once it's set, you can determine the gap that you're using to follow the car by pushing on that button. And when you do so, you get a little series of lines that show up. And the more you push, the less they get. So you basically have one bar, and then you have like 4, and then you go down to 3, and then to 2, and then to 1 finally. And that lessens or lengthens the gap that you sit behind the car. All right, over here on your infotainment system, okay, if I go back to home here for a minute, and you go into settings, and you go into vehicle. So I've scrolled down the screen. It starts with system, but it goes down to vehicle. And then you go to driver assist system setup. Here you can access the rest of the stuff that you can adjust on the safety systems on the car. So you got your forward collision warning distance you can set. You can set stuff for your adaptive cruise control. Road departure mitigations, lane keeping assist, and blind spot information. So I'll just pick one of those. You just click on it, and then you have a menu that pops up. Audible and visual alert only, off. And then you have a save button. Okay, the check mark simply shows you what is activated currently. And then to turn it off, you just click here, and then the check mark moves. And while we're over here, we'll talk about some of the rest of the stuff on the infotainment system. It's a very nice setup. It's a very nice screen. It's got nice definition to it. So basically, it works like your tablet or your smartphone. You can use this little arrow here to go between screens and see what is all available. And then you get a back button. You can also just simply grab and slide that. So back here at the beginning, this does come equipped with navigation. So if you click on here, up pops your map. This is hard drive based. It is not disk based anymore. And then you have a where to function, and you can type in an address. But you can also pull that by using your steering wheel. So if you go over here to voice command, you can access your navigation and some of the stuff on your infotainment system using your voice control. To get out of the navigation screen, or to get out of anything on this, it's really easy. Honda's put a really easy, just a back button right up here. Okay, that brings you to the last screen you were at. This one brings you back to the main screen, which happens to be this setting. You can go into your Bluetooth audio. You can set that up. You got Sirius XM satellite. You do have Apple CarPlay. I won't go into details on that, but that's very nice. Basically, you plug in your phone down here, and then Apple CarPlay will activate, and some of your main apps on your phone will show up on your screen, and you can control them and run them from your screen, although they are still using the data from your cell phone to run. You can also use a Siri hands-free, so you access that using the voice button. When your phone is connected via Bluetooth, you can access Siri and control your phone from your steering wheel, which is a really nice function once you get used to doing it. So the idea is that you don't ever pick up your phone. You let it sit, and so it's less distraction. Here you have a whole bunch of settings, your system settings, connections. We'll click on here. Okay, so Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Android Auto, CarPlay. This does come with cabin control. So if you watched our review on the Honda Odyssey came with cabin control as well. And so you have an app that allows you to control information like from the infotainment system and the rear climate control system, not the front. This is Wi-Fi capable, so if you want to pay for the service, you can get that. You also have AM and FM radio. You have SMS messages. You've got some additional things, a social playlist. You have a trip computer. I'll show you that. So you can look at your stuff right here on the infotainment screen for your trip information instead of looking at it on your dashboard. If for some reason maybe the passenger wants to see it, this can be updated via Wi-Fi or USB. So if you click on system updates, you'll get a choice via wireless or USB. Okay, so you don't have to go on the dealers to do it. And then you have an AT&T hotspot if you want to activate that. You also have some settings for your auxiliary input in your USB. And then finally, you have the My Honda app for music and the Honda Link app, which has several other features on it. So that is available. On the clock setting, it's kind of just interesting. It'll display a full screen clock for you, and if you go into settings, you can change the clock faces. So for instance, maybe this one looks more summery, and I can hit save, and it goes to full screen. So they give you a sort of an analog clock, a picture in the background, and then the number 2 is in the background because that happens to be March 2nd. It doesn't give you the month, but it does give you the day. All right, and so that's the basics on the infotainment system and the safety systems. Moving on down here to the climate control, you have tri-zone climate control. And this, of course, is your up and down for your driver. This is your up and down for your passenger. And then if you want to change the rear climate control, you hit this rear settings here. And now, if you raise or lower this, or this one, doesn't matter, you can raise or lower the rear temperature, which I think is nice that you can use either one. So driver or passenger can adjust it. You can turn the rear fan off completely if you want. And then you have, of course, your fan control, your mode control. And then if you want to run it in auto, you just press the sync button and all 3 temperatures will now adjust to whatever the driver sets. You have your front and rear defrosters, auto climate control button. Moving over to the steering wheel to talk about some of the buttons we didn't talk about. So you do have a heated steering wheel in this one, which is right here, which is really nice. Over here, you of course have a volume up and down. You have a home key to get back to the main screen on your dashboard. You have a back button that gets you to the previous screen you were just at. Then you have an up and down menu button. This affects what you're seeing in here. The left, right buttons affect things like, not on the dashboard here, but they affect things in your infotainment system, like switching to the next radio station. Right? Down here, phone on and phone off, and then your voice command button.